Frequently asked questions about Chrysogonum virginianum. Chrysogonum virginianum, commonly known as green and gold, belong to the Asteraceae family, is a charming ground cover plant that offers vibrant yellow blooms and a lush green appearance. As someone who has grown this plant in my own garden, I've encountered various questions and concerns from fellow gardeners. Here's a comprehensive guide to help you with everything you need to know about Chrysogonum virginianum. Is Chrysogonum virginianum toxic to dogs? One of the most common concerns for pet owners is whether their plants are harmful to their furry friends. Fortunately, Chrysogonum virginianum is non-toxic to dogs. This means you can plant it in your garden without worrying about potential poisoning if your dog decides to munch on it. However, while the plant is not harmful, it's always a good idea to monitor your pets to ensure they don't excessively chew on any garden plants, as this could lead to other health issues. How to start Chrysogonum virginianum. Starting Chrysogonum virginianum is relatively straightforward. Here's a step-by-step guide to get you going. Select the right location. This plant thrives in partial to full shade, making it ideal for under trees or shaded garden beds. Ensure the soil is well drained. Prepare the soil. Amend the soil with organic matter such as compost to improve fertility and drainage. Chrysogonum virginianum prefers slightly acidic to neutral soil. Planting. You can start Chrysogonum virginianum from seeds, cuttings, or nursery plants. If using seeds, sow them in a seed tray with a seed starting mix and keep them moist until germination. For cuttings, take a 4 to 6 inch section of a healthy stem, remove the lower leaves, and plant it in a pot with a mix of peat and perlite. Transplanting. Once seedlings or cuttings have developed roots, transplant them into their permanent garden spot. Space the plants about 12 to 18 inches apart to allow for spreading. How to care for Chrysogonum virginianum. Caring for Chrysogonum virginianum is relatively simple. Here are some essential care tips. Watering. Keep the soil consistently moist, but not waterlogged. This plant does not tolerate dry conditions well. Fertilizing. Apply a balanced, all-purpose fertilizer in the spring to promote vigorous growth. Avoid over-fertilizing, as this can lead to excessive leaf growth at the expense of flowers. Mulching. Apply a layer of mulch around the plants to help retain soil moisture and suppress weeds. Pruning. Trim back any dead or damaged foliage to keep the plant looking its best and encourage new growth. What happens to overwatered Chrysogonum virginianum? Overwatering is a common issue with many plants, and Chrysogonum virginianum is no exception. If this plant receives too much water, it can lead to root rot. Symptoms of overwatering include yellowing leaves, wilting despite wet soil, and a general decline in plant health. To address this, ensure the soil drains well and reduce the frequency of watering. If you suspect root rot, you may need to replant the affected areas with fresh soil and improve drainage. How to propagate Chrysogonum virginianum. Propagating Chrysogonum virginianum can be done through seeds, cuttings, or division. Seeds. Sow seeds in early spring or late summer. Keep the soil moist and in a warm location until germination occurs. Cuttings. Take stem cuttings from healthy plants during the growing season. Root them in a mixture of peat and perlite, keeping them in a warm, humid environment. Division. Divide established clumps in early spring or fall. This method is effective for rejuvenating old plants and spreading them to new areas. What to plant with Chrysogonum virginianum. Chrysogonum virginianum pairs well with other shade-loving plants. Consider planting it alongside hostas, ferns, and bleeding hearts. Its low-growing habit makes it an excellent ground cover beneath taller plants, providing a lush, green backdrop to your garden. Can you grow Chrysogonum virginianum indoors? While Chrysogonum virginianum is primarily an outdoor plant, it can be grown indoors under the right conditions. Ensure it receives adequate light, either from a sunny window or grow lights. Maintain high humidity and avoid placing it near heat sources that can dry out the air. Where to buy Chrysogonum virginianum? Chrysogonum virginianum can be purchased from various sources. Local nurseries. Many garden centers and nurseries carry Chrysogonum virginianum, especially those specializing in shade plants. Online retailers. Websites like Etsy, Amazon, and specialized online plant stores often have Chrysogonum virginianum available for purchase. Plant exchanges. Consider joining local plant swap groups or community gardening clubs where you might find Chrysogonum virginianum plants or cuttings. Common problems and solutions. Pests. While relatively pest-resistant, Chrysogonum virginianum may occasionally face issues with slugs and snails. Use organic pest control methods such as hand-picking or traps to manage these pests. Diseases. Keep an eye out for fungal diseases, particularly if the plant is overly wet. Ensure good air circulation around the plants to prevent fungal issues. Comparing Chrysogonum virginianum with other ground covers. If you're considering other ground covers, you might compare Chrysogonum virginianum with options like creeping jenny or ajiga. Unlike creeping jenny, which has a more aggressive spreading habit, Chrysogonum virginianum is more controlled and manageable. Ajiga, on the other hand, offers similar shade tolerance, but with different foliage and flowering characteristics. I hope this guide helps you in successfully growing and caring for Chrysogonum virginianum in your garden. It's a versatile and attractive plant that can bring a touch of gold and green to shaded areas.